Guys, what's happening? Welcome back to another episode of We the People. I've been waiting for this video. Here is our faithful imbecile, and I hate to say that because the man has served our country in the military, and he was also an astronaut. But I want to remind you of something, Congressman Kelly. Do you remember when you were stuck up there in that space station? Remember that? Well, I believe that was him. Well, you know, we pushed for Musk, Elon, to come up there and get you and save your life. And Trump backed that. And then you come down here and you take the uniform off and you only serve yourself. You stop serving the people. You're a disgrace to the uniform. And they should honestly court-martial you. Because that's what you deserve for what you've done. It saddens me to say that, but you are a disgrace to the uniform, sir. And you should be totally ashamed of yourself. And I mean totally ashamed of yourself. Because there's young people out there listening to what you're saying. You're not caring about what the Democrats' policies are affecting the people, how it's harming the people. We thought you would have had a backbone, sir. Instead, it was only Robert Kennedy that had, well, and Tulsi Gabbard. Unbelievable. Let's listen to what he got to say.
I am not going to be silenced by this president or the people around him because I've given too much in service to this country to back down to this guy. There needs to be an investigation. We need to pull some of these members of DOD and military into the armed services committees in the House and the Senate.
So we'll see if we get there, Senator. Just your reaction to what he said.
Well, Mark is out there trying to talk like a tough guy, and it's not becoming of him. I used to really take him serious because he actually is a pretty smart guy. But I mean, just yesterday I was on a news program right before him, and he goes out and says the president doesn't like brown people. He's trying to get attention for whatever reason. Maybe he's trying to think there's an opportunity for him to run for president, but he's failing. I mean, what he said about our men and women in uniform about not following direct orders was completely reckless and ridiculous by sowing any type of doubt and dissent inside of our men and women while we're at a time of unprecedented dangers from abroad and home. And then you see him go out like this and starts, throwing out this rhetoric. It sounds like to me he's pandering to this far left base, which is why the Democrats have a low approval rating, which is the lowest they've had since they've, actually measured the Democrat Party's approval rating. So I hate that Mark Kelly's going down this path, but this is what happens when you have people that are more interested in political gain than they are actually leading for American people. Because who could argue about us being proactive against these drug terrorist organizations that are flooding our streets with drugs, Bill, that no one can deny? I mean, think about this. We've had more overdose deaths in the United States in 2024 than we had in the entire Vietnam War. And so we should be applauding President Trump and Secretary Hegseth for being proactive when the previous administration turned a blind eye to it and opened our borders.
So you heard it right there, right? That's a fact. Listen, I'm a recovering addict, 9 years clean. I don't want to see drugs in our neighborhoods anymore. I'm sorry, but some of you are just going to have to go out and find a real goddamn job and get over it. Because we're not going to sit around and allow our neighborhoods and our children to be poisoned with some candy that looks like candy, but it's really fentanyl. There's a problem. See, you didn't just scratch the back of the gorilla, you poked the gorilla now. So now it's time for all that shit to end. We don't want no more drugs on our streets. And if that's going to harm you in some type of way, that's your trade or craft or whatever, well, you're just assed out, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Get a job. Because me personally, I think it's bullshit that they're beefing over the fact that it's a cocaine boat or it's a fentanyl boat. Which one's worse? Both. You idiot. Or are they a little of the sauce in the evening time, huh? Make you wonder, don't it? Yeah, I'm out.